Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dwayne Kimball, United States Army veteran and retired VA rating specialist. Yes, you know it. I'm bringing you another educational video as it pertains to the VA claims process. And today I am going to be discussing, do you need to submit evidence with your VA claim? I'm going to give you some examples of what I used to see when I adjudicated claims for the VA as a rating specialist. Also, I'm going to answer the question, if I had to do my claim all over, would I submit any evidence? Make sure you stick around. Okay, so today's video is a hot topic. Should you submit evidence with your VA claim? Okay, a lot of people will say yes, a lot of people will say no, a lot of different opinions. So I'm going to talk about what I used to see veterans do when I was a VA rater, and I'm going to answer the question, would I do it if I had to do my claim over again? Okay, so should you submit evidence or not? And the answer is yes and no. Okay, but I'm gonna break it down to you so you don't get confused. Okay, a lot of people just say yes, 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 yes. Okay, now it's going to depend on three factors, and you have no control over these factors. Okay, one is, well, one you do. One, the condition you're claiming. You got to think about that. Two, the VA employee that's going to be reviewing your claim, which you have no control over. And as I said in other videos, and I'll say it today, and I'm going to continue to say it, there are VA employees that are not advocates for you. So regardless if you have evidence and the evidence is sufficient to rate the case, if they want to deny you, they will deny you. Okay, now that's not the end all. You can do an appeal and you can win. I've seen veterans do it. It's easy. You just got to be educated, right? And then the third is the examiner, if you are entitled to a CMP exam. And again, some of those individuals are not advocates for veterans. And if they want to provide a negative opinion, they'll do it. I've seen it. Okay, so let's take the no first. What is the easiest claim that you can submit with no evidence? That's tinnitus, ringing in the ears. Veteran claims it. It lands on my desk. I look at it. The veteran states, I am claiming tinnitus, ringing in the ears. Please see my attached DD-214, which states I was a dental hygienist. Wow, really? While working as a dental hygienist, I cleaned service members' teeth multiple times per day, multiple times per week without sufficient hearing protection and using dental equipment with high pitches. Ringing in the ears started in the service, but I did not report it. Please schedule me for a CMP exam. I just dropped a nugget. Man, I just dropped a nugget. That's a personal statement. Only thing you have to do is change the MOS. That's it. Okay? Huge nugget. Now, no evidence is needed. You go to the CMP exam. A lot of veterans, 9.9% out of 10, they get service connected, especially if they know how to reasonably articulate their symptomology as it pertains to explaining how they were exposed to acoustic trauma for tinnitus. I know I am using a lot of words that you may have not heard before, okay? That's where that education comes in. That's what we do, educate veterans, all right? Now, let's keep going. Now, yes, when is the yes? When you need to submit evidence. That's pretty much everything else, okay? Now, I know you may be thinking, well, Dwayne, you're really not telling us something. Let me break it down for you. The VA doesn't train raters today like they trained myself and hundreds of other raters years ago. That training is long gone. These raters today, some of them are not looking at the 38 CFR, the M21 manual reference, and they're just denying. How do I know this? I look at some of our clients' rating decisions at the high level review level. And guess what keeps popping up? DTA errors, duty to assist errors. Those are through the roof. And the only thing that I can relate that to is lack of training, because it shouldn't be that many. And it's DTA errors on basic stuff, like not even requesting an exam when the veteran meets the 3 elements of direct service connection. That's a training issue. Or maybe that VA employee, that particular rater, is not an advocate. But if that's the case, they need to go. All right. So when is yes when you need to submit evidence? Okay. Now, I've seen veterans claim, let's say PTSD. I'm claiming PTSD due to fear of hostile military terrorist activity. Please see my attached DD-214, which shows I served in Southwest Asia. We all know Southwest Asia, Afghanistan, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. I just dropped another nugget and I wasn't trying to do it. Okay. So it lands on my desk, send it over to the CMP exam. The doctor, the examiner looks at it, interviews the veteran, comes back, boom, service connected. Now, these examiners these days, I was working at the VA when the third-party contractors came on board with the CMP exams. They were doing a lot of approvals. Over the years, the pendulum has shifted and they're denying a lot. Therefore, the evidence may not be a bad idea, because they can say, oh, the veteran doesn't have PTSD, the veteran has depression because they got divorced or whatever. But now you got evidence with that diagnosis, and this is for any other condition, okay? So I think it's a little bit harder for a doctor to say no, meaning you don't have that particular diagnosis, when you submit evidence which shows it multiple times. I've seen veterans file presumptive claims. Probably easiest under 5 ways of service connection, easiest to get service connected for. You need a current diagnosis and you meet the other factors under that presumptive, like time period and location. Okay, and then the doctor says due to something totally different. Okay, now, so you got to keep in mind the training is different. So majority of these claims, yes, you're going to need that evidence. You're going to need that evidence to confirm some things. Now, is it a requirement for most of them? I would say no, because raters can make that decision to say, okay, I concede it and go to the exam. But again, remember I said you're dealing with 2 individuals, the VA employee and the CMP examiner, and you may get one that's not an advocate. So I would rather have that evidence and not need it, opposed to needing it and not having it. Okay, meaning in the claims folder. Okay, so it shouldn't be that hard for you to go out and get that particular evidence. Okay, now, if I had to go through this claim process over again, would I submit evidence? And the answer is yes, I would. Because one major thing, DBQs and Nexus statements, that's evidence. Because I wouldn't go to a CMP exam. What I've been seeing today with these CMP examiners, these certain VA employees, and the regulation, because the regulation is on my side. 38 CFR 3.326 subpart B and subpart C. If you have sufficient evidence, which is DBQ and or Nexus if needed, and it's sufficient, no further examination is necessary. And I would hold their feet to the fire. You know how I know that? Because when I rated, I would use that particular 38 CFR to grant the benefit when the veteran submitted a DBQ and or Nexus statement. It's sufficient. There it is. It's about being educated, people, and using the 38 CFR, the M21 manual reference, and the court cases in your favor to adjudicate your own claim. This is something that we do with our clients, that we have these type of discussions. Okay, so when they get on the phone, when they get to the DRO level, they know how to reasonably articulate their claim. and what's going on with it and why they're disagreeing with it. Okay, so yes, I will submit evidence, but that's the evidence that I will submit. Guess what's in the DBQ? Diagnosis. Guess what's in the Nexus statement? The medical opinion and the rationale that supports the medical opinion as to why the doctor said yes. Okay, so I know that is a lot of information, but at the end of the day, is evidence needed? Yes and no. No, maybe one or two different conditions, and everything else, I would say yes. Just because the training is different. That's the only reason, because the training is different. Now, if we were having this conversation 10 years ago, I would say maybe over 75% of the claims that you would submit, no. Okay, because I had adjudicated hundreds of claims without evidence, because guess what? When you go to that CMP exam, they're going to give you the diagnosis. And then they can use your subjective lay testimony to provide a medical opinion. I think those days are long gone. Okay, so make sure you go out and get that evidence. It is not hard, okay, especially if you get treatment at the VA or even a private doctor. Get it, boom, you got a confirmed diagnosis, submit it, okay, submit it. If I did it again, like I said, my evidence would be that DBQ and Nexus statement. That's it, because that's all they would need. The reason why I know that, I rate it, okay? So with that being said, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and don't forget to share this video with your fellow veterans. Thank you.